If you want to get exposure to commercial real estate, but you don't want to deal with the headaches of finding and managing physical assets, investing in publicly traded REITs is definitely worth considering. But while these can be great ways to invest passively in commercial real estate, there are some major downsides to going this route that you need to be aware of before getting involved. So in this video, we'll walk through what REITs are and the biggest pros and cons to look out for when making these investments. So to start by defining what a REIT is, the term REIT stands for Real Estate Investment Trust, which is a company that owns, operates, or finances income-producing real estate. And for the purposes of this video, we are going to be talking about publicly traded REITs, which are registered with the SEC and trade on national stock exchanges, since these are by far the most accessible to the vast majority of investors. Now, to be classified as a REIT, a company must have at least 100 shareholders with no more than 5 individuals owning more than 50% of the value of the stock, and the entity also needs to have at least 75% of its assets directly tied to real estate, including property ownership or loans secured by real property, and the company has to distribute at least 90% of its taxable income to shareholders each year. And this last point leads into the first major benefit of investing in REITs, and this is that REITs are designed with a primary focus on regular distributions. According to the National Association of Real Estate Investment Trusts, or NAREIT, the average dividend yield for FTSE listed REITs in July of 2025 was 4.38%, which was more than 3.5 times the dividend yield from the S&P 500. This number has also stayed relatively steady over the last 5 years, even during a time when interest rates rose at record high levels and many private investors were seeing major drops in cash flow. Now, the second big advantage of investing in REITs is something that's really rare in most real estate investment vehicles, and this is liquidity and the ability to sell quickly. When you own a property outright, it can take months or even years to exit that investment, and it's often a time-consuming and energy-intensive process to get a property ready for sale. But when you own publicly traded REIT stock, exiting an investment is as simple as logging into your brokerage account and hitting the sell button, which is a lot more convenient when you need cash quickly. This also makes it significantly easier to rebalance your portfolio over time if your financial circumstances change or if you just decide you want to change your asset allocation. Now, some people think of this as a con since it is easier to panic sell when the market is down, but if you don't consider yourself an emotional investor and you're willing to ride out the inevitable fluctuations of the market, this is a major benefit that's worth thinking about. Now, on top of liquidity and income generation, another big benefit of investing in REIT stock is that this allows you to diversify your real estate portfolio in a way that would be extremely difficult to do as an individual investor. By investing in a single property on your own, or even investing in a real estate syndication, you have to put up tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars into a single asset, which makes that investment highly dependent on the performance of one specific property in one specific city. But by investing in a single REIT stock with as little as a few $1,000s, this could easily give you exposure to hundreds or even thousands of different real estate deals across multiple different geographic markets. Now, many REITs will focus on only one or two core asset classes, so each stock does usually have some concentration risk there, but by buying stock in multiple different REITs or a REIT index fund that essentially tracks the market, you can diversify a lot and reduce your overall risk. And if you do consider yourself risk averse, REITs also tend to be known to have very conservative leverage structures, and as of Q1 of 2025, the average debt ratio for publicly traded REITs came in at just over 32%, and the average coverage ratio on that debt service was just over 4x. And when you compare those numbers to privately held real estate investments that are often acquired with anywhere from about 65 to 75% leverage and debt service coverage ratios that usually fall between about 1.3x and 1.5x, this is a great way to reduce your risk and minimize your downside. Now, even though REITs do have a lot of advantages, there are also some major downsides to consider that could end up impacting your returns. And the first thing to be aware of is that the tax treatment from dividends distributed by REITs is not favorable to investors, especially high income earners. Rather than generating qualified dividends, which are taxed at capital gains tax rates, REIT dividends are typically classified as non-qualified, meaning that these are often taxed at ordinary income tax rates. And if you're already in a high tax bracket, this can be a major drag on your returns, especially when you compare this to direct ownership in commercial real estate, where taxes on distributions are often shielded almost entirely by depreciation. Now, the second major downside to consider when investing in REIT stock is that you're investing in an entire company, which can have significant overhead costs that you have to pay for. When you buy REIT stock, not only are you buying a share of the portfolio of properties the company owns, but you're also buying a share of the company itself, which means that things like office costs, salaries and bonuses, and regulatory compliance costs will all ultimately eat into your overall returns. And this can make buying REIT shares a lot less efficient than investing in a syndication, where you're investing into a separate entity that has a sole purpose to hold a real estate asset, and you're not paying for things like HR costs or office expenses that come along with REIT ownership. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, there are also benefits to this, since bigger companies do usually have a lower cost of capital and more economies of scale when it comes to operating their portfolios, but this is something that could have a direct negative impact on the cash flow and returns you can expect to generate from these investments. Now, finally, the last big downside worth mentioning about investing in REITs is that valuations of these companies are heavily reliant on the whims of the public markets. Unlike privately held real estate that's really only priced when a property is appraised or listed for sale, REIT stock prices can change a lot on a daily basis due to factors completely unrelated to the value of a company's portfolio. And this means that if you do consider yourself an emotional investor and you find yourself hitting the sell button as soon as the market hits a dip, direct investing might be a much better fit, since you won't see fluctuations in the value of your properties on a day-to-day basis. Ultimately, investing in REITs can be a great way to get exposure to real estate with liquidity, regular cash flow, and a lot of diversification. But if you're a high income earner looking for a tax efficient way to get involved with this asset class, investing in REIT stock might not be the best fit. And if you want to learn more about the investment analysis process that both REITs and real estate private equity firms use to value commercial properties, or you want to build the technical skills you'll need to land a job in this industry, make sure to check out our all-in-one membership training platform, Breaking the CRE Academy. A membership to the Academy will give you instant access to over 120 hours of video training on real estate financial modeling and analysis. You'll get access to hundreds of practice Excel interview exam questions, sample acquisition case studies, and you'll also get access to the Breaking the CRE Analyst Certification exam, which covers topics like real estate pro forma and development modeling, commercial real estate lease modeling, equity waterfall modeling, and many other real estate financial analysis concepts that will help you prove to employers that you have what it takes to tackle the responsibilities of an analyst or associate at a top real estate firm. And if you like this video and want to see more content on the channel on different real estate investment vehicles, make sure to hit the like button and let me know. And let me know in the comments if you've invested in REIT stock before, and if so, how that investment turned out. As always, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to see more videos like this every single week, and I'll see you in the next video.